Hey everybody, welcome to the THC Foodie, where we discuss the business side of cannabis and infused edibles. Today we're talking to Sam. Sam was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, fibromyalgia, subacute cutaneous lupus, Sjögren's syndrome, and costochondritis. Her doctors then prescribed her a host of prescriptions to help her deal with the symptoms of these said diagnoses, including Cymbalta, Lyrica, Nuvigil, Prednisone, thyroid medication, stomach medication, Naproxen, stool softener, birth control. The list goes on and on. Check it out in the show notes if you want to see the list of prescriptions that Sam can remember. The interesting thing is, Sam used the cannabis plant to wean herself off of all of these prescriptions. And she does not walk around high all day. Remember, this show is not a substitute for professional medical advice, but we want to share Sam's story with you to give you a better idea about how people are using the cannabis plant to help themselves in everyday life. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, please email us at jt@thethcfoodie.com or check us out at thethcfoodie.com.
I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia and subacute cutaneous lupus, hypothyroidism, and Sjögren syndrome, which I don't know if I really have all those. That's just what the doctors told me. We're learning that fibromyalgia and other autoimmune disorders could just be an endocannabinoid deficiency. And when I found that out, we jumped ship, we moved to Colorado. I just started getting as much cannabis in me as possible through topicals, edibles, vaping, smoking, dabbing, in anything I could get my hands on. I was putting it in my body, putting it on my body. And now I am prescription free, got off of 13 pills a day. Just absolutely incredible. My husband got off of 3 pills for his scoliosis back pain. It's just been a fabulous transition. And my mind is clear. My body feels better than it has since I was in high school.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal.
Possibly start from the beginning and tell us how the pain started and then how it progressed, and then when you moved to Colorado, then maybe we can talk a little bit about how like some of the first products that you tried and which ones like helped you the most and what you're maybe using now still. So
my pain began when I was a sophomore in high school. I started developing chest pain, and it wasn't like my heart. It wasn't like deep. It was very superficial. I knew it was like in my ribs and in my sternum and in the connective tissues surrounding it. And I went to the doctor, and he told me that I had costochondritis, which is basically like arthritis within the joints in your chest. And he just told me to take ibuprofen, Tylenol, no big deal. You're 15 years old, you're fine. And so then I did that, took the ibuprofen. It helped, but it didn't help. Into my college years, during band camp in the Texas sun, it's a lot of heat and a lot of UV rays. And I wear sunscreen all the time. I'm fair skinned, but my skin broke out in these bubbles, like rashes, just blisters all over my face, my chest, my arms. Everything that was exposed to sun had a blister on it. And I went to the doctor, to a rheumatologist this time, and she's told me that I had subacute cutaneous lupus. And then this whole smorgasbord of testing. I had x-rays, I had blood work done, I had, urine scans, I had a VQ scan, a stress test. I just had all these tests that didn't just came up either normal or it didn't show it didn't show what it needed to show. Like, oh, well, this would say that you have this, but it's not all right, but you may have this, but you don't have this. It was like just kind of all over the place. When I discovered cannabis, it was, I think, 6 years ago. Me and my husband, we both discovered it together. We had a friend come over with a volcano vaporizer, and he was like, this is going to help your pain. This will help you sleep better, and I was like, well, I didn't want to do it because I was scared that it was going to hurt. I had tried it before, and it burned my throat, and I coughed, and then, my chest hurt really bad afterwards. So I was like, no. But he said, no, this is the cleanest way to smoke, and it'll help with your pain, I promise. So I did it. I found immediate relief. It was the first time that I'd actually slept through the night for the first time in a really long time. So we never looked back after that. Continued to smoke every day. I began to start like getting myself off of some of the pills, like some of the stomach medications that I was on. And I discovered yoga and the benefits of combining cannabis and yoga.
So you're saying that getting high and doing yoga is very therapeutic.
It is. It allows you to like get inside of your body a little bit more and understand the different sensations you're feeling and maybe connect more with your emotional side, which I had kind of blocked off for a very long time due to my depression that I had developed because of all the pain and mystery diagnosis and things like that.
So did you find that smoking was your choice over ingesting? Or did you find result more in one than the other?
Well, in Texas, smoking is really all you could find. And so that's kind of how we started. We didn't really try anything else out until we got to Colorado. We had a friend that introduced us to concentrates, and that was a game changer for us. It was also a felony if we were caught with it in Texas. But, you know, one dab versus like smoking an entire bowl is a huge game changer. You know, you have so much more time on your hands when you don't have to sit there and smoke a whole joint or smoke a whole bowl. You can just take one dab and go about your business and be pain-free.
Because with dabbing or just with concentrates in general, they're extracting the actual cannabinoids from the plant. So when she's inhaling a dab, well, that's just straight medicine. It's very effective. It's like all the active compounds direct to her system and separated from the additional plant material of just grinding up nugs. Yeah. So it's like you're taking the actual compound, the cannabinoids, which are helping her get more balanced, and it's just really efficient that way.
Yeah, and you're not ingesting any combustion.
Yeah,
as well. We kind of tinkered with some edibles a little bit in Texas. They were extremely effective, but they were hard to get. And then if you made them yourself, it's a very smelly process. We did it one time and you could smell it from the street. So we never did it again. And I found myself in like a vicious cycle where I was working to pay for the bills and the prescription pills to trick my body into standing on my feet for 8 hours a day. My husband noticed this. I noticed this. It was just like a vicious cycle that I just couldn't quite get out of. I would come home from work every day, take a nap. I was extremely exhausted all the time. I'd have to leave work early. So when my husband's back pain got really bad, we just left. I gave my job a 2-day notice and said, peace out, I'm going to Colorado.
So can you tell me a little bit more about what products you tried first? And then maybe some of the cannabis products that you are currently using and how they've affected your body?
Yes. So the way that I did it, I can't recommend to anybody. You should consult your doctor before getting off all of your pills. But I didn't. I quit most of my stuff cold turkey. My Cymbalta that I was on, which I used for my fibromyalgia pain, turns out it's an antidepressant, which I wasn't fully knowledgeable at the time. And so whenever I got off of that, it was brutal. I was having like suicidal thoughts, negative thoughts, dark thoughts, terrible thoughts. I couldn't seem to get out of this funk that I was in. It took me 6 months to become like normal again after quitting that. The internet is a really good source for support. I was able to find like little support groups of people and read their stories of how they coped with getting off of the pill and how it's like one of the worst ones because of all the side effects that you experience afterwards. I was in incredible amounts of pain. I was like bedridden for weeks at a time. It wasn't fun. The first product that we found that worked incredibly well was the Mary's Medicinals patches. And those were a complete game changer for us. We were able to put that on and like go grocery shopping, which seems like a mundane task, but when you're walking around on concrete for like an hour trying to pick out your groceries, it can be killer on your body. So that was a positive. We discovered edibles. We tried, all different kinds of edibles. I think Medicine Man maybe has these like 350 milligram brownie peanut butter
There's
bars.
something called Mountain Medicinals or something. I think that's probably what you're thinking about. Yeah.
Yes. And those were great. We were able to like split them, and he would take half, I would take half. We could sleep, we could get out of pain, we could experience a normal life again. Right now I do a CBD pill in the morning. I put CBDA hemp protein in my oatmeal. I have a 3-to-1 CBD to THC vape pen that I use throughout the day. Indica, sativa, and CBN transdermal gels now. It is like one pump, you rub your wrists together, and in a few minutes you're great. And I do a CBN pill at night. I do RSO oil at night, and concentrates and edibles, which I either buy or I make my own out of the reclaim from.
So basically, any consumption method you can think of, she's putting that on top of or orally consuming.
Yes.
And it's helping tremendously.
Yeah. I use a lot of Mary's Medicinals products. They're just fantastic.
Not all of those were even THC. There was a lot of things that she just said that were not THC, which means that all those other compounds, they're not even getting her high. They're not having that psychoactive effect. It's literally almost like giving your body a super nutrient or like a super vitamin.
Yeah.
So that's the way you could think about it. It's not like she's just sitting there like THC, THC, THC all day long. Like she's really utilizing the whole plant and all the amazing compounds that this plant has to offer. So a lot of people also don't realize that this plant is not all about THC. There's so much more going on there. You could use certain parts of the cannabis plant every day and not even get high, depending on which compound you're using. So that's also a very powerful educational tool to teach people.
We're not just getting high here. We're healing our bodies from the inside out.
Yeah.
I'm curious, in Colorado, is your insurance able to pay for some of this? Because it sounds like you're taking a lot, and so it must be,
Yeah, well, insurance does not cover medical cannabis right now, unfortunately. As a medical cannabis patient, I should be able to travel the United States, but I'm not allowed to. I'm stuck in Colorado. All of the surrounding states around Colorado are all illegal. I think maybe Nevada
just became legal.
So, we're not allowed to legally travel outside of our state. I'm not even allowed to go visit my family back home, without being considered an actual felon.
You had talked about a combination of THC and CBD products. If do you feel that you would be where you are today if you didn't take the THC and just took the CBD family of products?
Oh, I definitely think that I need the whole plant, like all the cannabinoids, not just like one specifically, but I think that they work together in a way that really benefits my body.
It's kind of the same idea how you could be given a vitamin C, vitamin, or you could eat a whole orange, and you're going to get more benefits from eating the whole orange than you are from just taking a vitamin C vitamin. So it's the same idea of that. So it all works together really well. And in Texas, she didn't have the luxury of these options or even the knowledge, being empowered by the knowledge to know to have all these different cannabinoids. So people in other states that aren't legal, they really are just left with THC or somebody's like home grow where you really don't know how they grew it. You really don't know what they added to it. So that's also a huge negative and why regulation is so important. We want this regulated. We want to have trusted sources. We want to have like a standard procedure for this medicine and make sure that it's grown, sustainably and organically and healthy.
Do you have a product or business you want to share? We want to know what you have to say. Leave us a comment on our website at thethcfoodie.com or on Twitter at SafeTHCFoods.